I am Will Scott. Welcome in to the Dolphins Today postgame show. The Miami Dolphins have lost for the fifth straight time. This time to the New England Patriots. We're going to talk about the game here in a second, but I do want to shout out Mark King. He won our Super Chat raffle. He's one of our most loyal subscribers, so shout out to Mark King. Wish the Dolphins could have gotten a win for us tonight, Mark. But shout out to Mark King for winning our raffle, and he is today's postgame show sponsor. Final score, 23-21. New England beating the Dolphins. Teddy Bridgewater, we'll get into him in a second here. He was looking okay until that pick six. He got injured on the pick six, and that pick six changed the entire complexion of this football game. The Dolphins are up 14-7. New England goes on a 16-0 run to pretty much ice the game. Jeff Wilson, 15 carries, 46 yards. Raheem Mostert, 6 receptions, 52 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Mac Jones had 203 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 carries, 40 yards. The defense certainly wasn't awesome at times, but they're not responsible for losing this game for the Dolphins. Let's talk about Teddy Bridgewater because he did get injured in this game. The team is calling this a finger injury. He had his hand hit on this pick six. I think he got really hard stiff arm to the neck area, so we didn't know at first if it was a hand injury, neck injury, but the team is calling it a finger injury. He was trying to get back in the game, trying to grip a football. He was grimacing in pain, and so he did not return to this football game. Skylar Thompson came in to replace him. He went 12 of 21, 104 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The interception was dropped by Tyreek Hill, so it wasn't really Skylar Thompson's fault. Skylar just struggled to get the offense going at first, and then when he finally did find a rhythm, it was just too little too late. Dolphins scoring, but then failing to recover the onside kick. And so it's crazy. It feels like every single game that Tua doesn't play in, the starting quarterback that day gets hurt. And that is exactly what happened in this football game. Go down, let me know who is to blame for this loss. Let me know down in the comment section. I'm putting this on Mike McDaniel. You're the better football team. Even without Tua Tagovailoa, you're the better football team. You played too cute in the first half. You outgained them by, 70 yards in the first half? And it was 7-7 at halftime. You got too cute. You should have had a bigger lead. You got 14-7, but then the pick six changed the entire game. I mean, you lose 5 straight games. The head coach has to be the one taking responsibility there. I know you have injuries, but my goodness, 5 straight losses. Why does this happen every year? What did we do to deserve this? It has been 22 years since this franchise has won a playoff game. It has been 6 years since you were in the playoffs. You're 8-3. You're playing like a Super Bowl contender. And now you have lost 5 straight games. 5 straight games. You have lost. What did we do to deserve this? I do not have the answer to that question. 5 straight games. Now you are on the outside looking in terms of the playoffs. You're 8-3. You're 8-3. How does this happen? You lose all 3 games on the road. Then you have an opportunity to bounce back at home against Green Bay on Christmas. You blow a double-digit lead in that game. You blow a second-half lead in this game. This team has played too cute. They have not played physical. They have not played with enough heart down the stretch. They just haven't. They have not. And that is why they're in this position right now with an 8-8 record. I'm speechless. Kendall Lamb. We'll talk about the offensive line. The offensive line in the first 3 quarters was exceptional. Exceeded my expectations. You had Teron Armstead and the guy that you brought in to back him up out in Eric Fisher. Greg Little was good for most of this game. Kendall Lamb, you signed him to have some depth. You elevated him from the practice squad yesterday. He left the game in the third quarter with an injury. Javon Holland also got hurt, but he returned, so we'll keep you posted on Lamb status. If you want to go bet against the Dolphins next week, which I wouldn't blame you if you did, chatsports.com/bet. That's a promo code Dolphins125 to pick up a 125% deposit bonus. That means if you put $100 in, you're going to get an 125% deposit bonus, $225 to start with. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Dolphins125 to pick up that deposit bonus. He didn't get the ball to Tyreek Hill enough in this game. He didn't. 4 receptions, 55 yards. I said before this game that Teddy Bridgewater does need to win you this game. He just needs to find Tyreek and find Waddle, and they only combined for, 7 receptions in this game? Is that correct, Nick? 7 receptions in this game they combined for. Tyreek had 4 receptions. Waddle had 3. How in the biggest game of the year you have the 2 best receivers in football, the best duo in all of football, and they get the ball 7 times? How does that happen? How? I don't understand how that happens. I don't get it. They were underutilized in this game. You didn't find a true identity on offense today. You just really didn't. You really did not. And for all of you saying, oh, man, we need to move on from Tua. Look at what this team has been without Tua. They're 0-4 without him. They're 0-4. They can't win without him. Are you telling me that you tell me that Derek Carr's going to be better? No. Tua is really good. Now, Tua needs to focus on his health. And if Tua decides to step away from the game, I mean, he has a wife and a newborn at home. You can't blame him. He's going to look out for his health. His brother said he's not going to retire. I would trust his brother over these idiots on Twitter. But Tua's got to do what's best for his health. So we'll see. I don't think Tua comes back next week. I don't think he comes back this season. But if he visits these doctors and these professionals and they say he's okay to play next year and he wants to play, then he should be the guy. He should be the guy. This team cannot win without him. This team cannot win without him. Jeff Wilson had 15 carries, 45 yards. The run game was just today. It could have been better, could have been worse. But you needed to establish the run a little bit more than you did today. Be sure to subscribe because we bring you news, rumors, watch parties, and more. Go down, subscribe to the channel. It's going to a lot to talk about this next week. Mac Jones, meanwhile, 20 for 33, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. The defense, you got to move on from Josh Boyer. You just have to. And I understand the defense, not really the main part of this to blame today, but in the biggest possession defensively all season, you let Patriots go right down the field on you and score a touchdown to ice the game. You let them convert pretty much every single big third down that mattered in this game. Josh Boyer, he's got to go. Jacoby Myers, 6 receptions, 48 yards, 1 touchdown for Jacoby Myers. You miss Xavier Howard. There's no question about it. You miss Xavier Howard. That PI that had that throw was to Myers, right, Nick? That PI that basically set up a touchdown for the Patriots, 1st and goal from inside the 5. I mean, my goodness, he ran Crossan ran right into the guy, and it was just you missed X. I know X is not had an X type of season, but you certainly missed Xavier Howard. We're going to take questions now. Hordman, can we talk about how Jeff Wilson doesn't see outside holes, lanes? I understand the need to cut up the hole, but, dude, he misses some oppo on the outside several times. Yeah, I'm with you. I felt like that, too. He's running north and south. Should have utilized east-west a little bit more. Mr. X, what's up? We need to call for a new backup quarterback. I appreciate you saying that, Mr. X, because I do not believe the Dolphins need to move on from Tua if Tua is healthy and wants to play. They don't need to go out and get a new starting quarterback, but get a reliable backup in the building. Go back and watch my video from New Year's Eve. I mean, the number of quarterbacks in free agency, Gardner Minshew, Mike White, The list goes on and on about free agents that you can bring in to back up Tua. They might have 3 or 4 starts a year. What's your one-word reaction to this game? Go down in the comment section. I'm sick. I have this trash can here because I feel like I'm about to throw up. This was an 8-3 football team that was a Super Bowl contender, it looked like. Now they're 8-8. And I'll repeat this because I see a lot of you on their live chat here. Yes, the Dolphins can still make the playoffs, but they no longer control their own destiny. They need to beat the Jets, who actually look good with Mike White. We're recording this like in the first quarter of the Seahawks game. But Mike White's good. He'll be better than whatever backup the Dolphins tried out there next week. We'll see. Hopefully Teddy's okay and can play. But you got to beat the Jets, and then the Patriots have to lose to Buffalo. Which, the chances of those things happening are decent, but you don't control your own destiny anymore. I am sick to my stomach. This team has played like garbage past 5 weeks. Ale, I have hope to make the playoffs. To be honest, we have a chance to beat the Jets if Teddy's healthy, and the Pats need to beat the Bills, which honestly would not happen at all. Unbelievable out. Well, Ale, we got lucky. I'm in shambles, Coop. Ale, we're in a cut. Ale, we got lucky that the Chiefs won today. Because if the Chiefs did not win today, then the Bills could clinch the number 1 seed tomorrow night. Is that game in Cincinnati? They could have clinched the number 1 seed in Cincinnati tomorrow night. So either way, win or lose, the Bills are going to have a lot to play for next week. So I feel confident about Buffalo winning that game at home. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. All hands on deck for that game in Miami next week. All hands on deck. John Ruiz. My goodness. Sign Tom Brady. Rob Gronkowski. Fire Josh Boyer. Cut Jason Sanders. Hire Vic Fangio. Sign Saquon Barkley. Josh Jacobs. Trade for Taylor Moden. Trade for Lamar Jackson. Sign Gardner Minshew. So in that, I think John Ruiz is not happy right now. So in that case, your quarterback room will be Tom Brady, Lamar Jackson, and Gardner Minshew. Probably the best quarterback room of all time if that happens. Tom Brady might be a Dolphin. I don't know. I know Stephen Ross really wants Tom Brady in Miami. That's not a secret. We literally lost a draft pick because of it. Rob Gronkowski is not going to come out of retirement unless he's playing for Tom Brady, so we'll see. I'm with you. Fire Josh Boyer and hire Vic Fangio. What's up? What is a good replacement for Jason Sanders and a replacement for the defensive coach? Vic Fangio is by far my number 1 DC candidate to replace Josh Boyer. And then some other names to look at there. Maybe Jim Leonard, former Wisconsin DC. Maybe Sam Madison if they want to promote from within. Jason Sanders, I think you got to look toward the USFL or XFL. Cole Murphy was the best USFL kicker, making 11 of 12 field goals, including a 62-yarder. He'd be far better than Sanders at this point. Hugh Ringo, what's up? What do we need to happen to make the playoffs? I appreciate the question. It's a pretty simple scenario. Beat the Jets. Bills beat the Pats. That's what needs to happen. Again, final score, 23-21. Patriots beat the Dolphins. Dolphins fall to 8-8, lose their 5th straight game. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'm just so upset. This team had so much promise, so much potential. It's obviously not over yet, but this just does not feel like a playoff team.